Dear pupils and parents, I very much hope you've had a pleasant and productive week, and I certainly know the weather has been trying its best to support us at this time. Our US friends and colleagues are celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week, and I want to take this opportunity to recognise the huge effort of teachers throughout the UK and Ireland and across the world, and the contribution they're making at this time. Thank you for the messages of support that you've sent to our teachers to spur them on. Never underestimate the power of even just one line of a message. As we know in the educational world, it is only positive and constructive feedback that strengthens the learning system. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to let our teachers know how much you appreciate their enormous efforts at this time. For parents and pupils in the early years, thank you for embracing the new daily live Zoom sessions, in addition to Tapestry, and thank you for cooperating with our teachers to allow this to happen. I also realise and understand the physical reliance for parents of children in the early years to assist both with Tapestry activities and live sessions. Our emphasis as a school will be on the provision we can offer, but we understand if you cannot avail of everything we develop. Years 3 to 6 pupils are now very much enjoying the live daily lessons and contact for most of the morning, in addition to VLE tasks in the afternoons. And I'm delighted to announce that we're increasing this further from May the 18th week, with the addition of another live lesson on at least 3 days a week, which will be delivered by myself, Mr. Fathers, and other teachers on a rota system and open to years 3 to 6 at the one time, being delivered via Zoom with a unique session ID and a unique password to ensure security. This additional live lesson for years 3 to 6 on at least 3 days a week is optional. There's no need for children to excuse themselves from it. And it will be standalone activities, standalone lessons, so there will be no need for prior learning. And as the lessons will be standalone and not connected, this allows for this optional opt-in, opt-out flexibility that might be needed as we add an additional live lesson. We are now communicating with each other more and more online, more through virtual methods of communication, just like this, and via email and chat. And that's why this week the teachers have been reminding pupils of the digital citizens that we need to be, and how we should be communicating in the chat function exactly as we would do in the classroom. And while emojis can be fun, sometimes they can be misinterpreted. So from today, GIFs and other emojis are now not allowed during the live lessons, except when the teacher asks you to show a thumbs up or not in relation to whether you're understanding the content. So any social chats are also not allowed within MS Teams, but pupils should very much stay connected with each other through other ways and the ways that they have already been doing, but not using the school's platforms to do so. So stay connected with each other. It's really, really important. Tomorrow, of course, is a national bank holiday and VE Day, and a reminder of the importance of the peace most people in the world enjoy today. Living in harmony and peace is so important to us, and something we need to protect and cherish as the months and years go ahead. Peace is important for our children and for our children's children, and education has a very, very special role to play in the promotion of peace and harmony and good relations. So enjoy the bank holiday tomorrow. Enjoy any celebrations or any activities that your family are thinking about over the weekend. And one of the most important celebrations is just that time spent with each other, enjoying each other's company. And as I finish, I want you to remember that the St. Edward's community is here for you. We're fully with you in support of you, and we thank you for your partnership at this time. Well done to all of the St Edward's children for working so hard again this week, with special mention to the following pupils in reception who have been given Star Awards. Taylor in reception, Alan, for fantastic work on our pirate topic, especially the treasure map. Moving on into year 1, Maxwell in 1D for super maths work, Maisie in 1G for really neat work with good detail. Moving to year 2 this week, 2B, Megan for working more independently and showing great motivation, and Maddie for adding much more detail and accuracy into her work. Well done. Milo in 2PW for going the extra mile for his work and putting in that extra effort. And special mention also for children in the prep department who've been awarded gold leaves today. Kessia in 3D for superb effort, practicing the body parts in French. Kessia has worked really hard throughout this period, and I've also seen that in my live assemblies as well. Benjamin in 3T, who during live lessons gets on with his work superbly and completes tasks to the best of his ability. He waits really patiently to speak and is polite and thoughtful and showing true St Edward's character right throughout. Aoife in 4MP for an excellent attitude to independent learning. Aoife has achieved a perfect score for her spellings and earned a gold certificate for her mathletics. Well done. Patrick in 4F for excellent effort during maths tasks, and Riley in 5B for doing some brilliant work in his maths lessons. Neve in 5R for her impressive research into salamanders in her this week's science lesson. Rosie in 6P for her superb effort at making Churchill's fruitcake using the original recipe as part of her World War II work and her own VE Day celebrations coming up tomorrow. Ellis in 6T for producing 2 very detailed and interesting pieces of work linked to his humanities topic on World War II, and for going the extra mile to present his work in an interesting and unique way. Super effort, and well done to each and every one of you. And while the teachers can't give a gold leaf to everybody every week, your turn is coming. You just need to keep up the great work. Well done, everyone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Pupils, I know one of the things that you've really been missing, apart from seeing your friends and the teachers, is I know you've been missing my jokes. So I've come up with 10, my top 10 for this week. Hope you enjoy them. What do you call a dinosaur that is sleeping? A dinosaur. Number 2. What is fast, loud and crunchy? A rocket ship. Number 3. Why did the teddy bear say no to dessert? Because she was stuffed. Number 4. What has ears but cannot hear? A cornfield. Number 5. What did the left eye say to the right eye? Between us something smells. Number 6. What do you get when you cross a vampire and a snowman? Frostbite. Number 7. What did one plate say to the other? Don't worry, dinner's on me. Number 8. Why did the pupil eat his virtual homework? Because the teacher told him it was a piece of cake. Number 9. When you look for something in your house, why is it always in the last place you look? Because when you find it, you stop looking. And finally, best joke to the last. What is brown, hairy, and wears sunglasses? A coconut on a bank holiday. I know you are rolling about the floor laughing at all my jokes, but hopefully that makes you feel a little bit better. Okay, bye. So this afternoon we have Poppy Walsh, who has volunteered to be on school radio, and she's going to be talking to us about how she is coping with learning from home, and also sharing with us some of her ideas. So Poppy, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good, thank you.
Wonderful, and it's a beautiful day. And so Poppy, how have you been getting on? Do you have anything that you find is really, really helpful to learn from home?
Well, Teams is helping me learn, because when we didn't have MS Teams, we sort of had to ask our parents, but our parents are also working like we are. So it's now helpful that we have Teams.
Excellent, really, really good. So that live teaching has been a big support. And do you have any routine that you follow, or anything that helps you in the day?
Yeah, I wake up, I make my bed, and then I go downstairs. I do my reading and mathematics. Then I have my breakfast and get ready for Joe Wicks. After Joe Wicks, I just have a break before I have my live registration. So, and that's when we get to see our friends, because when we're doing our live lesson, we only get to see our set. We don't get to see our whole class. Mm-hmm. So you get to see parts of both classes when as you're doing your registration and your live lesson.
Excellent, really good, and you're finding that very helpful. Wonderful. Yeah. And that feeling of that feeling that we have, we're currently in lockdown. How have you been finding that generally?
It's hard because you miss your friends, because usually 5 days of the week you would see your friends, you would be with them for a long time, except at the moment you can only see them through a screen if you FaceTime your friends. So it's hard not to see your friends in person, not just through a screen. But the live learning's helping, because you can see your teachers as not just your friends, you can see your teachers as well. So it's easier with Teams, so we can see our friends more than we did.
Yeah, and isn't that interesting? Because when we were at school normally, we would spend a lot of time on our screens. And are you saying that one of the things that this is teaching us is the importance of seeing people in person and being with people in person?
Yes.
So you're starting to see that that's a very, very important aspect. And it's so true, because you're going to be having a live assembly with me shortly this afternoon as part of year 4. And one of the things I'm going to be teaching you is that idea of how important communication and being in contact is for us, because we're humans depend on social contact, and of course this idea of social distance, where we've got to keep our distance from one another in order to help deal with this virus, and the next stage will be that's what we'll have to practice. And yet for human beings, we need to be socially in touch with each other. So it is very, very difficult. And in terms of out of school time, what activities are you doing?
I have virtual dance classes twice a week,
Virtual
and I
classes. How do you do a virtual dance class?
we have Zoom, so we put in a password and it comes up with the meeting that we're on. So then we can still learn our dances and our teachers can still go with us corrections. So but instead of them doing it in person, we have to try fix it ourselves. So it's making us a bit more independent with our dancing. So because we don't have our teachers there that will show us how to do it. Well, they can still show us how to do it, except it's through a screen, so it's a bit harder to actually see all of the technique that they're doing. So we have to try and put it in ourselves.
And you mentioned this idea of independence, that it's developing independence, and that's so true. And that's one of the things that we are seeing. And some people struggle with that, and others are flying with that, where they are enjoying the independence to learn. And the thing about learning is that at a certain point, true learning comes when we are independently learning something, and we're enjoying that. We're in love with the learning itself, and that's fascinating that you're able to do those virtual dance lessons. So just as we come to the end of our interview, if I could grant you one wish, what would it be?
It would be to go back to school and be with our family and our friends again, so we don't have to be with the same people for a long time.
Yes, so I wish I had a magic wand, and I wish I could grant that, but I do have some positive, optimistic news for you, that I think that we will be coming back to school a lot sooner than we thought. Of course, we don't know how that's going to be, or how many people will be allowed back, or what age groups will be allowed back. We're going to find out very soon, and I think that's going to be towards the end of this week, and maybe Sunday the Prime Minister might tell us how schools will come back and how businesses will come back. But Poppy, thank you so much. You did a wonderful job. It was lovely to hear from you this afternoon, and stay well, and keep working as hard as you're doing, and keep that independent, those skills of independence that you very much have, and thank you for sharing your ideas with others. And I'm going to be seeing you shortly on MS Teams along with Year 4. But in the meantime, thank you very much. You did a fabulous job, and take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.